I can do better than this mediocre life, she said while packing for her rich boyfriend. So I helped her load the car. Now she's calling from jail asking for bail money. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I still remember the exact moment I knew it was over. Melissa was sitting on our couch, scrolling through Instagram like she did every night. But this time she kept sighing and shaking her head. Look at this, she said, shoving her phone in my face. It was some influencer couple at a rooftop restaurant, champagne glasses catching the city lights. Why can't we do stuff like this? I was stirring pasta sauce, trying to salvage dinner after working a 10-hour day. We could go out this weekend if you want. That new Italian place downtown. She rolled her eyes. Jake, that place has paper napkins. I should have known then. But I kept cooking, kept pretending that her increasingly frequent comments about our basic lifestyle were just stress from work. I told myself she was going through a phase, that she'd remember why we worked together. I was wrong. The signs had been building for months. She'd come home later and later, always with stories about after-work drinks with colleagues. She'd started dressing differently, more expensive clothes, more makeup, perfume I didn't recognize. When I'd ask about her day, she'd get vague, checking her phone mid-conversation. But it was the comments that really got to me. Little digs about our house. It's so suburban. Our date nights. We always go to the same 3 places. Even my job, project management, is just safe, you know? Each one felt like a paper cut, small but accumulating. The breaking point came on a Tuesday night. She walked in at nearly midnight, clearly having been drinking, and found me reading on the couch. God, Jake, look at this place. Look at us. We're like suburban zombies. I put my book down. What do you mean? I mean, when did we get so boring? When did we decide that takeout pizza and Netflix was the height of living? I thought you liked our quiet nights. That's the problem. She was pacing now, gesturing wildly. You think small. You're satisfied with small. I can't do this anymore. My stomach dropped. Can't do what? This. Us. This whole mediocre life we've built. I deserve better than microwave dinners and garage sale furniture. I stared at her. We'd been together for years. We'd talked about marriage, kids, growing old together. And now she was calling it all mediocre. Mel, what's really going on here? She stopped pacing and looked at me like I was a stranger. What's going on is that I finally realized I'm 26 years old and I'm living like I'm 60. What's going on is that there are people out there actually living, and I'm here watching you read the same book you've been working on for 3 months. The next morning, I found her in the kitchen with a suitcase. Where are you going? Derek's picking me up in an hour. Derek. I knew the name. He worked at her marketing firm, some hotshot consultant who drove a Porsche and wore suits that cost more than my monthly car payment. Derek from your office. He's not just from my office, Jake. He's... God, how do I explain this? He's everything you're not. The words hit like a physical blow. What does that mean? It means he takes me to restaurants that don't have laminated menus. It means he drives a car that costs more than you make in a year. It means he has vision, ambition, goals beyond paying off a mortgage in 30 years. I felt numb. How long? 3 months. And before you start with the guilt trip, this isn't about cheating. This is about me finally realizing I can do better than this. 3 months. While I was planning our anniversary trip, she was planning her exit strategy. I should have been angry. I should have yelled, demanded answers, made her explain how she could throw away 4 years like they meant nothing. Instead, I just stood there, processing the fact that the woman I loved had been auditioning my replacement. That's it. You're just going to help me leave. I was already pulling her remaining clothes from our closet. What would you like me to do? I don't know. Fight for us. Ask me to stay? Something. You just told me you deserve better than what we have. If that's how you feel, then you should go. You're not even going to try to change my mind. I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman who used to steal my hoodies and fall asleep during movies we picked together. The woman who'd cried when I surprised her with a homemade birthday cake because no one had ever done something so thoughtful. Now she was looking at me like I was an obstacle to overcome. No, Mel, I'm not. Derek arrived in his Porsche exactly when she said he would. He was everything I wasn't. Polished, confident, wearing a watch that probably cost more than my car. He walked into our house like he owned it, barely acknowledging me as he surveyed our cozy living room. "So this is the place, huh? Cozy. It works for me. I bet. Different priorities, right? Some people dream small, some people dream big." Something like that. He was loading Melissa's bags into his car when he turned back to me. "No hard feelings, man. Sometimes people just outgrow situations." I watched him drive away with my girlfriend and felt something unexpected: relief. For the first time in months, the house was quiet in a peaceful way, not tense. I realized I'd been walking on eggshells for so long that I'd forgotten what it felt like to just breathe. My friends thought I'd lost my mind. "You're just going to let her go?" my buddy Mike asked over beers the next weekend. "Dude, you don't even know if this thing with Derek will last. She'll probably come crawling back in a month." "Maybe she will. And you'll just take her back?" I thought about it. "No, I don't think I will." The next few months were strange. I'd built my routine around someone who wasn't there anymore. I cooked for one, watched whatever I wanted on TV, read entire books without interruption. I got promoted at work. Turned out I was more focused when I wasn't constantly managing someone else's dissatisfaction with our life. I started investing the money I used to spend on expensive dinners and designer clothes Melissa needed. I picked up photography again, something I dropped because she found my weekend photo walks antisocial. I fixed up the house, not because it was inadequate, but because I wanted to. Meanwhile, Melissa's Instagram became a highlight reel of luxury. Michelin-starred restaurants, weekend getaways to wine country, designer shopping trips. Her friends filled the comments with heart eye emojis and "living your best life" messages. I didn't follow her anymore, but mutual friends kept me updated whether I wanted it or not. "She looks happy," my coworker Sarah mentioned after seeing one of Melissa's posts. "Good for her. Don't you wonder what might have been different if you'd fought harder?" I considered it. No, you can't convince someone to want the life you're offering. Either they do or they don't. About 4 months after she left, the posts started changing. Instead of restaurant photos, there were vague inspirational quotes about new opportunities and taking risks. Derek started appearing in her posts less frequently. When I ran into her friend Jenna at the grocery store, she mentioned that Melissa had quit her job to help Derek with his business ventures. "What kind of business?" I asked. "Something with cryptocurrency and investments. He's got her handling client relations." I felt a chill, but said nothing. Melissa was an adult who could make her own decisions. She'd made that very clear. 2 months later, I was having dinner with Sarah. We'd started dating after bonding over shared interests in photography and quiet weekend mornings, when my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Jake, I know we haven't talked, but I need help." Then another. "Something terrible happened with Derek." And another. "Can we please talk?" I showed Sarah the messages. "Your ex?" "Yeah. Are you going to respond?" I thought about it, then turned my phone face down. No. The messages kept coming over the next few days, each one more desperate than the last. She'd apparently lost my new number and was texting from different phones. I blocked each one. Then her sister called. "Jake, I know what Melissa did was wrong, but she's really struggling right now." "I'm sorry to hear that. She made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. She's learned her lesson." "I'm sure she has. She's been staying on my couch for 2 months. She lost everything. Don't you feel any responsibility to help her?" "No, I don't." There was a long pause. "That's cold, Jake. I never thought you were that type of person." "What type of person is that?" "The type who abandons someone when they need help most." I almost laughed. She didn't abandon me. She upgraded. Remember? The call from county jail came at 2 a.m. on a Saturday. Sarah was asleep next to me in my newly renovated bedroom. The automated voice was matter of fact. "You have a collect call from Melissa at County Detention Center. Will you accept the charges?" I sat up, fully awake. Sarah stirred but didn't wake. I accepted the call. "Jake, thank God you answered. I'm in jail." Okay. That's all you're going to say. What would you like me to say?" "They're saying I was part of Derek's scheme, that I helped defraud people. I need bail money." I walked to my kitchen, the same kitchen where she'd told me she deserved better. "How much?" $50,000. "I don't have $50,000 lying around. You could get a loan, or use the house as collateral, or..." "I'm not going to do that." "Jake, please. I know I hurt you, but I'm desperate. I have nobody else." "That's not my problem." "How can you say that? We were together for 4 years. Were. Past tense. This isn't you. You're not this cold. The Jake I knew would never leave someone hanging like this. I looked around my kitchen. New appliances, fresh paint, everything exactly how I wanted it. The Jake you knew was apparently too mediocre for your standards. I was wrong. I was stupid and wrong, and I'm sorry. I believe you. Then help me. No. Why? Because you made your choice. You chose better. How's that working out for you? Don't do this, Jake. Don't be cruel. I'm not being cruel. I'm being realistic. You wanted more than I could give you. Well, you got it. I made a mistake. You made a choice. You chose Derek over me. You chose his lifestyle over ours. You chose to call our life mediocre. Those weren't mistakes, Melissa. Those were decisions. People change. I've changed. I'm sure you have. But I've changed too. The difference is, I like who I am now. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not the same guy who would drop everything to rescue you from your own decisions. That guy was too accommodating, remember? Jake, please, I hope things work out for you, Melissa. I really do. But they're going to work out without me. You can't just hang up on me. Watch me. I hung up and immediately blocked the number. Sarah was awake when I came back to bed. Everything okay? Yeah, I said and meant it. Everything's fine. 6 months later, I'm writing this from the same house Melissa called mediocre. Sarah and I are cooking dinner together. Something simple, nothing fancy, just us talking about our days and planning a quiet weekend. She's a third-grade teacher who gets excited about farmers markets and used bookstores. She thinks my photography is talented, not antisocial. She appreciates the life we're building together instead of constantly measuring it against someone else's highlight reel. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd fought harder, if I'd tried to convince Melissa that what we had was enough. But then I remember that you can't make someone value something they've already decided to discard. You can only decide whether you're going to value yourself. Derek's Ponzi scheme made the local news. Turns out his cryptocurrency ventures were just elaborate ways to steal from investors. Melissa got 18 months probation and community service. Apparently, her lawyer convinced the judge she was more victim than accomplice. I heard all this from mutual friends, not because I asked, but because people love sharing drama. I don't hate her. I don't wish her ill, but I don't think about her much anymore either. She wanted better than the life we had together, and in a way, she was right. I did deserve better. I deserved someone who saw our quiet dinners and weekend photo walks as precious, not mediocre. Someone who dreamed about building something lasting together, not escaping to something shinier. The funny thing is, I'm happier now than I ever was trying to be enough for someone who had already decided I wasn't. Some people will always be looking for the next upgrade, the next level, the next thing that will finally make them feel complete. And that's okay. They just can't expect you to wait around while they figure out that what they were looking for was never about you in the first place. My phone hasn't rung at 2 a.m. in months. I sleep better now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.